Hi guys, welcome to What is Civilization Start Over, episode 31. So the first area we're going to look at is the Korean area. As this area is not socialist, it's Korean nationalist, which is a very big ideology. And every nation that is part of this alliance will join this. And after this, they will pass a pact since they have economic alliance and military alliances, as they're the same currency and everything. As this pact will be signed to create the Korean. I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Oh, I don't know. Oh, um, as I was saying, this pact will be signed to unite Korea and all the Korean nationalist countries, as this will be what we call the Korean Union, which is the biggest union in history, as each nation in this union was once part of Korea. And let me put back that major city. And the Korean Union will already get to the diplomatic stage, as they'll go on the front stage of the Council of Nations, which is not world order yet, of the Asian Alliance, and most of these nations are in the Council of Nations. So I can just remove them, and as you can see, most of these nations were all very big members, as they were what we call a part of the Security Council of the Council of Nations, as they'll go on the diplomatic stage. Oh yeah, I must change their capital. So I'm gonna do that after I'm done putting that circle. If this takes time, sorry. As they will stay a Security Council member. So let me go to the capital thingy-majiggy. As the as as I was saying, the Korean Union, being the largest nation will first not know where to put their capital, and they will end up deciding to put their capital here. I mean, in this central major city, as the capitals of these nations, which I will now rub off, because this is now a union. So the capitals of every nation in this union will be replaced by this one capital. So what they'll go on the international stage to do, to ask the Chinese to give them back this port right here. So as I was saying, the Korean Union, which is the largest union in human history, as it's very big. I don't know. So the Korean Union is very, very large, as it is so large that I think it's not. I don't think it's bigger than China, but it's very large. So, as I was saying, the Korean Union will go on the international stage and talk to China, as they even send a diplomat to the Chinese capital with it, which is in this major city, and say, "Give us this port. We'll give you a lot of money," and the money is like 50, 60 million. As the Chinese, seeing how they wanna be allies with this, they will accept. And now the Korean Union is full, as this will be followed by the ideology of Korean nationalism fully I'm not, can't believe I'm in the wrong idea. So as I was saying, as the ideology of Korean nationalism will fully win against the ideological fight, as now the Korean Union is fully Korean nationalism. And talking about the governmental stage nationalism, as we know from Augusto's Visco, that is Russian nationalism. This is Korean nationalism, which is a very, very nationalistic thing. I know the civilistic. Oh, this is the same color, so I'm going to make the ideology a little bit darker than its real color, because in this union will even reach to the likes of Japan, which is like which absolutely despises this new union as its number one enemy. As they're actually gonna have some diplomatic talks, as the Korean Union knows this area. This area has been part of this nation for a very long time, so it's not unstable, as they know this area is very unstable, so they will talk to Japan and give them this whole area, as they're going to let this area go back to its national ideology, as even this area will beg to join with Japan. And they're not called the Korean Japanese Union, Korean Union. So they will accept, and this will really change the course of the power rankings, so we gotta do that all over. As I was saying, 1A is the Korean Union, then 1B, which is China, because China is still very strong, as China is, as the Korean Union hasn't surpassed China, as you can see there, 1A, but they haven't surpassed China, as they're trying to surpass China, but they still didn't. As the second strongest is the Russians, the third strongest, Denmark, as you know, fourth strongest, the Benelux, fifth strongest, this nation, sixth strongest, which is this nation, and then seventh strongest, this nation, eighth strongest, Persia. So the rest of the power rankings will stay the same, but with the Korean Union. So now going to something else, we're going to look at this nation right here. As this nation, I should really change this up, as this nation will go from being one of the most stable to one of the most unstable, as they will even turn it to a dark red stability, which means they're actively in civil war. As this nation being fascist and all, yeah, they're fascist, I think. Yeah, they're fascist. There will be two groups. There'll be a group that really wants to join back with the pink team, as it's almost the whole group. And there's a group that wants to turn the ideology to go away from their current ideology, as they see it as not the right way for this nation, as this ideological change is very strong. To join the Pink Nation, well, be secretly funded by the Pink Nation, but will manage to be pushed back, as these groups will even fight each other and fully collapse, as the capital guard is taken by the socialists, and the socialists will make a peace treaty with this group. So let's look at this. So this is the peace treaty, as this green nation will be fully becoming a socialist, and the pink nation will gain stuff out of this. As the as this nation right here, the pink nation will be calling for change in government, as they will go back to their old government, not a dictatorship, a democracy, which democracy is now spreading around the world, as this is called by the Chinese becoming a democratic nation. Now the Russians and the Chinese are really becoming enemies. Now we're going to look at this Galician / Portuguese nation, as it is going to collapse even more. As you can see there, an orange stability, as they will go straight from orange to red, as the people in this nation are very not liking of the government, as the government is very unstable. So yeah, even here wants independence, but we're going to see large amount of tensions between these two nations, the Chinese, as the Russians have allies in Europe, which is most of Europe, because most of Europe is totalitarianism, except for this this nation. Most of Europe is democratic, so Eastern Europe is with the Russians. This nation is with the Russians, and the Russians will be doing this, as the Russians, seeing how the Romanians are the only nation stopping them from being a strong Eastern European power. So they're gonna start an invasion of Romania, as they capture Crimea, and they have the Donbass area on their. Now they're gonna capture the capital of Romania, and this will be the end of democracy in Romania. So let's look at this peace treaty. So as I was saying, end of democracy in Romania. So yeah, Romania technically just becomes a Russian puppet. They're happy that they weren't, as Russia. So as I was saying, Russia will start an invasion of the Sakhalin. As this, I really don't know what's happening to my bucket, but yeah, the capital is captured in a few minutes of the war, and this nation will fully collapse. So let's look at this peace treaty. So what they'll do with this nation, they won't have to change the government, they'll just change the government. And in Finland, since it's the last democratic nation, they don't see a reason to invade. They're just gonna, when elections happen in the country of Finland, they're just gonna mingle with the elections and turn Finland into a dictatorship, as they can't go through to Eastern Europe, as they know what the Russians are doing, as they have a large war against them. As Turkey, who will be one of the nations that, not wanting to be mangled by Russia, will turn into a democracy. And this will lead way for a very large alliance to be made. This will be called the Democratic World, the Democratic European Order, as this Democratic European Order will be very, very, very democratic, as it's literally the definition of democratic, as it's going to include, oh, that's what happens if it's going to include the Benelux nation, as it's actually going to include most of the democratic nations, as it's even going to include this nation, and the third strongest nation, Denmark, and this nation, as this nation doesn't see a reason of joining it. As this nation joins, it's like NATO, but different. As even this small nation joins this nation, as this is a democratic order against Russia, as Russia is totalitarian. But Russia, seeing this, would make an alliance of its own. Oh yeah, another nation would join this alliance, which, that country is the small country of Norway. Scotland here doesn't see the point of joining it, as the totalitarian order of Europe will be made, and it's gonna include Russia, Finland, this northern Sweden, this, I forgot this nation, South Sweden, and this big nation, and also this nation, as it's gonna be one of the biggest this is one of the biggest standoff in human history. I'm sorry this video is a little bit longer than usual. So yeah, that'll be the last thing that happens in this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Greetings, gentlemen. Thank you for coming here for a meeting in Benelux. It's our pleasure. Let's discuss about the Russian aggression in Europe. As we know, the EDO has a plan to ward off Russia, and that plan will go and activate on June 1925. But the plan will only go effect if Russia activates Article 6. Russia, I don't think they will take the chance to attack any of our nations. Don't worry, gentlemen. The plan will work. We trust you, all of us.